Eating a carrot stick.
I am.
Woohoo!
You'll have to excuse my crunching as I finish my carrot stick.
Okay, so who do we have planned today?
Andrew Rip, Jericho Walls.
Oh, awesome. I love this song.
Let us know if you're here watching and excuse me finishing my carrot.
Say hello, say hello, say hello, and tell us who you are. My fears. Woo! Come down, Jericho Walls.
Linda, hello.
Hi,
Shelley,
Shelley.
hello.
We're just going to give this a few minutes as we wait for women to log in, and we are so excited. Michelle Gabriel is in the house. Woo!
Hello, Anna. We've got Sheila,
Hi,
Margaret, Barb. Thank you, Barb. Hi, Joan. Hi from Tennessee. Hi from New Brunswick.
Woo!
Hi, Kathy. Welcome.
Hi, Kathy. We love to see familiar faces, or faces. I guess it's names.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Margaret.
Hi, Dawn. Woo! So we're listening to Jericho Walls.
You were fighting for my victory. He's
I'm
fighting
from
for all of our
Minnesota or
victory.
Montana. I don't know if MN is Minnesota or Montana. I think it's Montana, but I'm not sure.
I can feel the darkness trembling. These are some powerful words.
Very powerful. We want to say hello to each and every one of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad to be back to do a little bit more teaching about the 80-20 rule. Woo! We're pumped up because we just did some jumping jacks.
And some bad dance moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. We are glad you're here with us.
Yes.
And it is Monday night. So the first question, hi there. It's nice to see you. Minnesota. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Wendy, for clarifying. MN is Minnesota.
What's Montana's MO?
Or
right?
MO. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's MO. Anyway, what we want to ask you first off is we said the other day that when we put our feet on the ground, first thing in the morning, when our feet hit the floor, we say, I love my life. And we were going to ask you if you did that, and we haven't forgotten.
Nope.
So have you done that? And how did it make you feel? So first of all, if you have, first thing in the morning, when your feet hit the floor, if you have thought or said out loud, I love my life, give us a thumbs up in the chat right now. We want to know if you actually did it.
And if you forgot, put a thumbs down.
Yeah, because thumbs up, thumbs down.
This morning for me, it was a thumbs down.
Way to go, Linda. You did
Woo-hoo!
it.
So good, Linda. It was a thumbs down for me this morning because...
And it was a thumbs up for me.
Because I woke up and my husband was up with my older daughter and I said, can you please come get the baby? I need to go back to sleep. And I didn't. I couldn't sleep after that. But
okay, we're getting some thumbs up. We're getting some thumbs down. Cindy, you did it. Awesome. Valerie didn't do it.
And we've got a few Facebook users, we can't tell who you are, that are saying you did. So
Kathy
way to go.
didn't do it. Sheila did it. Way to go, Sheila.
Beth was a no.
Thumbs up.
Joan was
Wendy.
a no.
I forgot what to say.
Oh, this is perfect. Way to go.
Awesome. That's a good one too. That's really good.
That is a really good one.
And Irene, way to go, Irene.
So tell us if you did that, if you did say that first thing, how did it make you feel? We know one Karen who actually works with our team. She said she did that, and she said she kind of chuckled, and it just started her day off on a really good, note.
Yeah.
So let us know what your response was to doing that.
This is really good too. You didn't do it first thing, but you did it when you remembered. You did it.
You did
That's
it. Way to go.
Way
Exactly.
to go.
So yeah, let us know if
and
you
Margaret
did do it.
Smith, she didn't do it. Well, Margaret, you can do it tomorrow.
Or do it right now.
Or do it right now. Yeah.
Well, let's do it right now.
Okay.
We got to put our feet on the floor.
Feet on the floor right now.
Let's do it together.
I love my life. Woo! You just said it. If you did it, let's do it again. Because this time you can say it with us. Ready?
Exactly.
1, 2, 3.
I love my life.
Woo! Give yourself a pat on the back because you said it. Woo!
Made me smile. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it kind of does, right?
It does, because you kind of chuckle and go, oh, I have some aches and creaks and cricks and like my joints are, not quite awake yet, but it does make you smile.
Yeah, and it takes the focus off of all that other stuff.
That's right. It
which
totally does.
Is amazing.
Just like right now, you can boost your mood any time of the day by actually getting some exercise, because that does this whole thing with endorphins in your body, and you feel better when you do some exercise. Like we're having a bit of a down day today, and we did jumping jacks, and we felt a whole lot better. And we also prayed.
Yep.
That also is a big part of the puzzle.
That's right. Barb says, I did it this morning when I got up. Yeah, felt great. Love it.
Love it, Barb.
And Dawn, it looks like you were trying to say something to us, but it didn't come through. So
yeah, so say it again.
Say it again. That's right. Hi, Anne.
Marsha, I did it and it feels good. Yes, it does feel good.
And Margaret, way to go. See, isn't it awesome?
Way to go. Even saying it. Like if you forget, you can put it in the chat right now. If you didn't say it out loud with us, put it in the chat. In fact, put it in the chat anyway.
Even if you did, yeah.
It's good to do it twice. I love my life. Wow. You know what? God has given us life. God has given us a life to live, not to be put in a box, not to be hiding under a bushel.
Mm-hmm.
Our light is supposed to shine.
Well
and
said,
so,
yeah.
When we love our life shines out to those around us. We've talked about the ripple effect before. I don't know if we've talked about it in this.
Yeah, I think we
weekend.
did on day 3. Yeah.
Way to go. I love my life. Look at that. That's awesome. We don't know who you are, but I love it.
And Cindy too.
Way to go, Cindy.
And Irene. And Michelle says, lots of aches and pains, but I did smile when I said I love my life. And yes,
Yay.
I love endorphins. So why don't I exercise periodically and get the endorphins flying, right?
That's right. Way to go, Michelle.
In fact, that's one thing that I had said just this morning is one of the things I'm so thankful for is that God made us in such a way that when we need a boost, like literally, if you do jumping jacks for 1 minute, you will feel better because those endorphins, like the chemical balance in your body actually changes when we
do it,
when we get our heart rate going.
Yeah. It's amazing how easy it is to change our mood.
Yeah.
To change just our body. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
the chemical composition.
Yeah, it is. But the whole aura of your body changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking for, the word aura. Your whole countenance changes.
Countenance, that's a good word, yeah. Yeah, and another tip for you that's kind of in that same realm. We weren't planning on talking about this for this long, just so you know.
Love this.
But
I love my life. Love my life a little more every day. Way to go.
That's awesome. Man. So another thing I was just going to say, it's a similar context to what we're talking about, is if you go look, awesome, Barb. If you go look in a mirror, stand in front of a mirror and put your hands on your hips and stand up tall, like kind of a power stance, same thing. Your whole being changes and you will feel differently. Like you kind of can't help but feel a little bit more powerful.
Okay, let's do it right now. Everybody stand up.
Okay.
Okay. We need a power stance. So put your hands on your hips and give yourself a big look.
I don't even know if I can.
Woo! You can't see our hips.
I know. See, and you can tell how much taller and different shape I am than Ruth.
But we had our hands on our hips and we had a stance. Okay. We're called to go out bold, to be courageous, to have confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's exciting.
It sure is.
So
there you go.
You didn't know we were going to give you some exercises to do like this, right?
We didn't know we were going to give you some exercises to do like this.
But you know what? It's all fun and it all boosts our mood. It helps the energy in the room ignite.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel so much better. And that's how we need to be looking at our whole entire life. We have to live a life without regret.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Just did jumping jacks for 30 seconds.
And Dawn says, it felt great because God gave me breath this morning to stand up. So I love my life. Amen. Dawn, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Feeling strong from Linda. Awesome.
Oh, wow. I know. So do you see how just one little exercise like that can change our whole perspective? Like we've talked a lot about
lenses.
The lens and looking through a set of lenses. Now, every morning I have to wash my lenses because they're smudged and dirty, and I put them on and I go, oh, I can't see anything.
Probably from my kids.
Probably. But when your lenses are blurry, it's a different perspective than when they're clear.
Mhm.
Like you can't read the words the same, and you can't see your outlook on life the same when the lenses of our life are
Fogged up
and smudged and blurry. And so we have to get back to basics to clear that up. We have to get back into the Word and invite God into our journey, into our weight loss journey, so that we can get rid of the smudges, so that we can get rid of the blur and actually see clearly.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I think I've just thought about it like this right now. I think my verse for the year, and I've been talking about it a lot lately, is Philippians 4:8. And, I'll probably say it wrong here, but it's the one that says, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is honorable and trustworthy, think about those things. We're told to think about the good things. And that doesn't mean that we can't address when things are hard, because I'll be really honest, I have had a very hard day today.
We're going to be real with you right now, okay?
Yeah, and that it doesn't say that you can't have a bad day, but it says think about. And remember, we talked about our thoughts become our feelings, become our actions, become our results. And we talked about how we control the thoughts, right? We can't necessarily control that first lightning bolt thought, but we can control the next thought. So I can't maybe control the thought or what's the circumstances, right? I couldn't control a lot of the circumstances that were happening for me today, but I can control how I choose, how I choose to think about what's happening. And that will completely shift what happens going forward. The circumstance might not change, but the way that I choose to view it can totally change.
In fact, here's another example of that. You've all gone to the doctor before. If you go to the doctor and you have a rash, and the doctor says, here, I'm going to give you some medication, so go home and take it and see what happens. So you go home and take the medication, and your rash gets worse. So you go back to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh yeah, that medication does not work for you.
You're reacting
to that medication. I'm going to give you another medication. Go home and take it and see how you act, how your body feels with this medication. So you go home and you take the medication, and your rash starts to get better. It goes away. You go back to the doctor, and the doctor says, oh, that's awesome. You responded to the medication. So it's that way in every circumstance of our life. You can either react or respond. And I'm going to tell you, Casey and I actually reacted a little bit today.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't respond like we should have. So we knew that we had to get back to basics. We had to get back into reflection and figure out what was bothering us, because reacting is not the right response.
No.
We don't want to react. And we're telling you this because we're just like you. We are women chosen for greatness, and so are you. You are a woman chosen for greatness. We do things that we don't want to do. It was a lightning bolt comes into your mind and you think it. But how you choose to react or respond is up to us.
Mm-hmm. And I think just to further illustrate that, thoughts become feelings, become actions, become results. So the thoughts came to our head and the feelings were there because we were choosing to dwell on those negative thoughts. And then, see, this is where accountability is so important, because we have each other to bounce things off of, and we check in before we send an email, before we, if we
comment.
That's right. So we check in before we act when we know that there's difficult emotions or difficult thoughts that we're struggling with.
Yeah.
And then we can help realign and respond instead of react. And so we're just like you. The difference maybe for us is that we have accountability with each other and with the rest of our team, and that we've been practicing this for
years,
a long time.
But we're still in training.
Mm-hmm.
We say we're not trying, because trying, when you say you try, there's the automatic instinct that you might fail. But when you're in training, there's no failing allowed.
Well, no. When you fail, you just keep training. You keep going back to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not that you quit. You just are in training and you keep picking yourself up and you keep going forward and forward, like the falling dominoes. They're falling forward. So we're failing forward. So that's why when I said we reacted, that was our first instinct. The lightning bolt that Casey talks about, it happens. And then we have to take captive our thoughts, like the Bible calls us to. That's why your verse is so important. Because when we have that negative thought or the negative belief of ourselves, we got to take that thought captive. If you think that you can't lose weight,
you got to take that captive too.
Yeah, you got to take that captive because you got to shove that aside. It is possible to shed the weight. You can do it. And we know you can. We believe you can because the Bible says you reap what you sow. It's a promise.
And in fact, let's just talk for one more minute about being in training, not trying, because I love that illustration. If you think about an athlete who is in training in their sport, they fail over and 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 over, and then they keep failing some more.
That's right.
But they are committed because they are in training to be the best that they can be. That failure, that time that they fall down, that time that they don't get the goal or they don't, get the best time or they compete and everything goes off the rails, they don't quit. All that is another learning experience for them to put behind them. Every failure that they have at an event makes them that much stronger at the next one because they know how to overcome that obstacle. And then there's going to be another one and they're training for that one. And they don't quit and they don't think about failure as failure, right? They think about that time that didn't go as well. They think about, I have to improve that. How can I get better at that? They go to their coach and they say, what did not go well that time? How can I correct it? And so when we say that we are in training, we're in training as believers first and foremost, but we're in training in this weight loss journey too. And that's why there's no failure.
No.
There's only failure if you quit.
That's right.
And
there's only failing forward. And that's a good thing because when you're failing forward, you're still getting ahead. You might take 2 steps forward and 1 back, but you're still ahead. And then you're going to take another 2 or 3 steps forward, maybe 1 back, and then you're still ahead. And you're going to take 3 steps forward and 1 back, and you're still 2 ahead again. Wow.
Exactly. And so, with everything that we've been talking about here, like we still fail all the time.
Yeah.
But we're in training. So we get back up and we keep going. We keep pressing on. And that's what else the Bible talks about. Press on and finish the race.
In fact, we're called to run the race to win. And you can win because with God, it is possible. You can shed the weight and you can win.
Yeah. So none of what we've talked about is what we're actually here to teach you about today.
But we want to say today we wanted to talk about the 80-20 rule. And we do want to talk about that. But I think we should first just tell them about, we said, do you love your life? And that's amazing because now you've all said it. And we know that you're going to keep saying it because you're going to think, when you say it, you're going to go, oh yeah, Ruth and Casey said you got to say, I love my life, because it gets your whole countenance in the right projection for the day. It's going to propel you forward.
So put a heart in the chat right now if you're going to do that going forward, because the more that we talk about this stuff, the more that you think about it, the more that you're going to remember to do it, because that's half the battle, is that we forget.
That's right.
Right? We want to do things like say, I love my life, but we forget. We get busy. We get overwhelmed with life, and so.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's remember.
Let's remember that. Exactly. Because it's like when you learn something new, if you don't get it into your mind, it's fleeting and it's gone. But it's transference of information to incorporate into your everyday life that is going to help you move forward. Yeah.
So thank you for all those hearts. That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Okay, so we want to teach about the 80-20 rule today.
And once you live the 80-20 rule, you really do have freedom with food. And freedom with food is another whole workshop that we do put on. But freedom with food, what does freedom with food to you mean?
For me, the biggest thing that it means is that I don't have to obsess anymore about food in general. And it also means that I am in control of the decisions that I make regarding what I choose and do not choose to eat. And that sounds simple, but it's pretty complex if you think about your own relationship with food. So for me, you know, a lot of times this looked like I would go to an event, or I would know that I was going to an event, and I would obsess all day, like, oh, I can't have this because I'm going to this thing. There's going to be all this food there, and am I going to eat there? And I'm going to eat in front of all these people, and I don't want them to think that I'm eating too much or that I'm not eating enough. And what am I going to have, and what am I not going to have? Like, it was obsession. And so freedom with food for me has meant getting rid of that obsessive nature around food, right? Where, like, I'm not choosing to eat anymore because I'm worried about what somebody will or won't think of what I'm eating. That's one big part of it for me.
I think for me, freedom with food means I get to choose. I can choose whatever I put in my body. That's total freedom. Like, if I choose to give my body trash, that's my choice, but I take ownership for it. If I choose to treat my body like a temple, wow, I feel really good. It's just such freedom when you get to choose and you take ownership and there's no blame about it. It's like, yeah, I'm responsible for what I put in my body. And if I choose to treat it like a temple, I feel really, really good. And that's pure freedom to me.
Yeah. And so the 80-20 rule, you might have heard this before in other contexts, because the 80-20 rule, it kind of is across the board. You know, the 80-20 rule applies in so many scenarios where often it's said that 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts, or it's said that 20% of the people are the problem people and 80% are the non-problem people. Like, 80-20 rule is used widely.
Yeah, another one is 80% of the people around you will support you and 20% won't. 80% of the people are positive and 20% are negative.
Right. So there's the 80-20 rule is pretty contextual.
Yeah.
But for our purposes, when we talk about the 80-20 rule, and here's the caveat with the 80-20 rule in weight loss mode, is that we say it's more like the 90-10 or the 95-5 rule when you're in weight loss mode, because we need to be making decisions that align with our goals. So let's talk about it in terms of 80-20 rule, but just know that the numbers might get adjusted slightly if you're in weight loss mode. So what that means is that 80% of what you do should be the high octane fuels for your body that are helping to fuel your body. And maybe 20% is the other stuff that you're choosing, right? And so it's about making decisions that align with our goals. And sometimes to make a sustainable lifestyle change, or to be in weight loss mode, sometimes that means choosing the cake or the pizza or the chips or the wine. And sometimes it means not. And that, like you were saying, is really freedom with food.
Yeah.
Is when you can choose in full freedom and in full control of the decision, knowing that you're making a decision that aligns with your goals.
That's right. So if you're going to do the 10-day weigh down challenge, for instance, then what we say is do the 10-day challenge and do it well. You know, like during the 10-day challenge, you might be living the 95-5 rule, where you're 95% following according to plan. And 5% is maybe the one time you're going to go out with your friend for lunch.
Or have a glass of wine in the evening. Or
right. That's right. But it aligns with your goals, because when you make the small goals, and we talked about goals on probably day 1 or 2 or 3, I don't know which one. One of those days we talked about the SMART goals. And so when your decisions align with your goals, then it's easier to say, no, I got to live this way right now, because my goal is to do the 10-day challenge well. So I'm not going to have 3 glasses of wine. Or I'm not going to have popcorn for 10 days. Or I'm not going to open a bag of chips where I know I'm going to be really tempting myself. Or I'm not going to have a piece of cake at the Bible study tonight because I'm following the 95-5 rule. And maybe sometimes it's going to be you're doing the 80-20 rule because you're taking your granddaughters out for pizza or out for an ice cream cone. So it's just such freedom, though, when you have, I want to say the confidence in yourself to know that you can live that way for a lifestyle. It's such freedom.
Mm-hmm. It really, really is. And I often talk about when we're in weight loss mode, because I'm in weight loss mode right now too, like we've talked about, right? I am losing the weight after another pregnancy. And for me, what the 80-20 rule means, or the 90-10 rule, is that in order for this to be sustainable for me, that sometimes I choose to go out for dinner with my family or to order pizza. And that's okay. And when we talk about making decisions that align with your goals, we have to remember that they have to be specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic. And so if we say never again, I'm never having pizza, that's not attainable or realistic. And so sometimes making those decisions in the 20% category or the 10% category, sometimes those decisions do align with your goals, even though it seems counterintuitive. But we have to make this sustainable. We have to make this something that we want to continue doing. And so sometimes that means that you do have the freedom to make the choice to have it.
That's right. And then you don't feel guilty about it, because if you do it, if you eat something that you know you're going to feel guilty about, it's way better to say no, because feeling guilty and having shame about something that you put in your body is only going to make your mood go downhill. It's only going to make you feel bad about yourself, and you're not bad. Maybe you chose a wrong decision, but you are not bad because you ate something. Your identity is in Christ. It's not on a piece of food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about that. So you have to ask yourself, how am I going to feel an hour from now if I eat that piece of pizza? How am I going to feel an hour from now if I have an ice cream cone? How am I going to feel an hour from now at my Bible study if I ate that piece of cake? Am I going to regret it? Am I going to think that, oh, I blew it again, I'm a failure? How are you going to actually think about yourself an hour later? Because when you ask yourself that question, that will help you make the decision. If you're going to not be okay with it, then just give it up and just say no.
Mm-hmm. Then it's better not to, because you're not going to actually enjoy it, right? And so that is one of our other big points that we wanted to say here, is that with the 20% or the 10 or the 5, whatever numbers you're looking at, where you're at in your journey, you still need to be in control of the decision.
Mm-hmm.
And we often talk about emotional eating and how we use food to feed our emotions rather than feel our emotions a lot of the time. And, we talk often about, like, what's the first thing that you think about with a birthday cake, because you're celebrating, right? Yeah. And so there's emotional eating tied to happy things, sad things, mad things, all of our emotions, we tie food to it.
Yeah. Like, let's ask them right now. I'm going to ask this. If you've had a fight with your husband or your friend, what's the first thing that you want to go and do?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
What's the first thing that you want to do if you've just had a fight with your best friend?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments the answer to that. And so with feeding our emotions, like, we so often just go to food and we don't even think about it. We're not really even in control of what we're doing, because we're just feeding our emotions, and we know that food is going to bring some sense of relief or celebration or whatever. And so birthday cake, for example, we're celebrating and therefore we're eating. But that doesn't mean that it's wrong to eat birthday cake if that's what you're choosing. The distinction is that whether or not you are in control of the decision, or whether you are, like, not even thinking about it and it's all wrapped up in eating the piece of cake to celebrate, and that's the only way that the celebration feels complete to you. Like, there's a big distinction there. Like, it's not wrong to eat cake at a birthday party, but when you're feeding your emotions and you're not actually aware of the choice that you're making, when you're not in control of the decision, when you're obsessing with about the food, like I was talking about earlier, that's not you being fully in control of the decision.
No, that's what we call mindlessly overindulging. And so much of our society today does that. We just mindlessly overindulge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible talks about overindulging. The Bible talks about overeating. And look at this. Yeah, we have to share some of these. Here is this is from you, all these comments. Eat junk food, chips and dip, eat chocolate. I'm a stress eater. Eat junk. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Ice cream, chips and candy. Eat junk or happy food. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason some foods are labeled as comfort foods.
You got that right, Linda.
Yeah, and not that we want to get too sidetracked on this, but the fact is some of that food does give us some of those happy chemicals in our brain, right? The hormones.
Mm.
And so it does give us that little bit of relief for that long until then we turn around and we feel guilt and shame about the fact that we've eaten. And so we often say, like, the devil really tricks us with that because it's like, no, just go eat that. Just go eat the chips. It'll make you feel better. Just go eat the candy or the chocolate or the ice cream. Or it'll be okay. Or the Mexican food and the pizza. Just go eat it. It'll be okay. It'll make you feel better. And then as soon as you've eaten it, he flips it on you and goes, you're such a failure. You're worthless. You're never going to make anything of yourself. Right. And so he uses this double-edged sword on us, right, where it flips, but we have a stronger shield than his sword. And so we need to remember that. So that's a little bit about emotional eating. But
and we have a whole course on emotional eating, a whole workshop on eating your emotions. But back to the 80-20 rule. If you're going to decide to eat something that isn't so healthy, just take ownership for it and make sure it aligns with your goals. If you're in weight loss mode and you're doing really well, don't sabotage yourself. Think about what you're going to do. Think about what you're going to put into your body and ask yourself, is it worth it? It's okay to ask yourself that. Is it worth it?
Such a simple question, but you'll be amazed at how profound the answers can be.
Exactly. Often when we go out for dinner or lunch or want to go out with friends, and I know it's difficult in this pandemic that we're living in, especially where we live, but you can focus on the fellowship and not the food. You can order something healthy when you go out. You don't have to have the milkshake and the fries or the 1,000-calorie drink from Starbucks and the I don't know whatever you want, but you don't have to have that to enjoy a nice lunch out. You can have a healthy option and have a great conversation and have a meaningful, deep friendship going on.
Exactly. Yeah. So why don't you let us know if you have any questions about the 80-20 rule right now, because that's a really important component to what we teach, because like we've talked about, it's all about making decisions that align with our goal. And it's about recognizing that sometimes the decision to have the not so healthy decisions or choices, sometimes that is what aligns with your goal so that it's sustainable. Exactly. Thank you. It's sustainable. And that you can love your choices, because for us to say, I'm never going to have that again, like, we don't want to live like that.
Nobody wants to live like that.
No, I want to have pizza sometimes for family movie night. Right? You want to have popcorn sometimes. You want to have a glass of wine sometimes. We want to enjoy our life.
And it's not wrong to have a piece of pizza. What's wrong is overindulging, because the Bible talks specifically about treating our body like a temple. It talks specifically about overeating. It talks specifically about gluttony. So overindulging is what you don't want to do. Portion controlling and living the 80-20 rule is pretty sustainable for the long term.
Yeah, exactly. And Sheila chose to have a Diet Coke today. Good for you. Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm sure you did, because I know that that's where you're at. So that's awesome.
Way to go, Sheila. And way to be accountable. Sheila is living the 80-20 rule, and she's reached her target goal with us. And so, wow, Sheila, thanks for that.
Yeah. And because, just further to what you were saying, like, nowhere in the Bible does it say it's a sin to eat birthday cake.
No.
Or it's a sin to eat pizza or, any of those things, right? And so we're not here to tell you that that's sinful. That's not.
No, that's
what
not
we're here
saying.
to say is that overeating is never the best decision, right? Overindulgence is never the best decision. The Bible talks about moderation. And so that's why we talk about the 80-20 rule, but maybe it's not, maybe 80-20 isn't moderation for you, right? Maybe right now it's 90-10. Like
right.
Moderation is a little bit different for each of us because we're all different.
Nadine says, I find myself grabbing a bite or two of something. I need God to slap my hand and say no. Nadine, you're doing well. You're doing very, very well. And you just got to take ownership for those bites.
Yeah. And that just leads me to one other little example. We are hardwired as humans to either seek pleasure or avoid pain.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision that we make is based on either trying to seek pleasure or trying to avoid pain. And that's very oversimplified. But what Nadine's saying is that she wants something that invokes a little bit of pain so that she starts trying to avoid that, right? Because there's a pain response there that she's trying to avoid. And so what you can do is you can just, and I'm not suggesting that you go do this, but it's just funny that Nadine said that. Some people like to go get like a rubber band or an elastic and put it around their finger or their wrist. And then when they're doing something that they don't want to be doing, they go boop and they snap themselves with it for exactly the reason Nadine is saying. And that's because they are trying to associate pain with the action that they don't want to take so that they don't do it. So anyway, that's a little bit down another rabbit hole, but.
And thanks for this comment too. It's the difference will be that when I mindfully choose to eat something unhealthy, I will be in control of the amount rather than binge. Yes, which has been your past habit. Thank you for that. We don't know who you are because it just says Facebook user, but thank you. That is exactly it. We take back the control. And it's only you that can take back the control.
With God's help.
Yeah, with God's help.
Yeah.
Because with God, it is possible to take back that control.
Amen. I have a friend who eats 1 chocolate kiss after dinner per day. She is thin and eats very healthy. She says she has always told herself she can have chocolate every day, and she does with 1 small kiss.
You know what? If that's working for her, we don't say you can only have 1 chocolate a day. We don't say you can overindulge, but again, we'll get into that deeper because we know, Linda, we're going to be working with you. We're excited about that. But yeah, chocolate is really a decision. Some chocolate is very healthy. And so we include chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And see, I think, Linda, the thing that's really cool about your friend is it sounds like that's her version of freedom with food.
That's right.
And that's really cool that she's uncovered that that's what that means for her and that she can have one and enjoy it and then carry on and not obsess about not eating chocolate because she does get to enjoy it.
That's right. And it sounds like she has control because for some women that we work with, if they're addicted to chocolate or if they're addicted to sugar, having one is a downfall. It's like
the dominoes like all over again, but in a not so good way.
Because it's like an alcoholic. If they're an alcoholic, you don't offer them a drink because they can't have a drink. Otherwise, they are going to fall off the wagon. So if it sounds like your friend is not a sugarholic, and so she can handle that. And I know some women who can handle it because I can handle that if that's me, because I'm not addicted to sugar. But other people who are addicted to sugar find one really difficult.
And Sheila says she wouldn't be able to stop at one. But the other thing too is that we all have a different vice, for lack of a better way to say it. Right? For some women, it's chocolate. And like for Ruth, it's not chocolate.
No.
For me, it's chips. Chips is my weakness. If I open chips, it's hard for me to have just a one portion.
And for me, it's the salty stuff too. Like chips is my thing as well. I guess that's where Casey got it from. Or for me, it's popcorn because I used to eat popcorn every day. I don't anymore. But that's something that I could easily go for every day and not stop. And that's not the high octane fuel for my body. So I don't have it every day.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to learn where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are. And we go real deep in that.
We do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd eat the whole bag, says Cindy.
Yeah, and Linda says, right on with my friend. I admire her control.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is, it sounds like she's got a good system going for her. And
Yeah.
we're all different, so we all need a little bit of a different system.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so we're going to answer.
yeah, I think that covered everything we need to teach. So
Yeah.
we're here to answer any questions
right
now. So go ahead and put them in the chat. So Amy says, how do you help folks with low incomes who can't afford the $9.97 program that really need this program? So Amy, we, you know what, we know, and Amy, I'm not saying that this is your comment at all, because we really appreciate your comment, and then the tone behind it. We are just here to say that we've seen all the comments about the price point, and
we're going to talk about that for a minute right now.
Sure, let's address Amy's question first, because that's not what Amy's saying.
No.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, you were starting to go.
So you know what, we feel very, very good about the level of service that we provide. We have no qualms about asking people who are in a position to come join us. Like, we don't have an issue charging for what we provide, because we are a business and we have expenses that we have to pay for. That's just the nature of business. And so we do have different products that we have available. And so, Amy, if you want to reach out to us by email at support@waydownlifestyle.com, maybe if our tech support is on, maybe you could put that in the chat so that people can email us. Because really, truly, our goal and our mission is to help thousands of women. And that's why we put this workshop on for free. And so we've asked you before, but let's just ask you again, if you have found value and learned something in this free workshop, please put a thumbs up in the chat for us, because you know what, we work hard to serve you to our absolute highest ability through this workshop.
That's right. And some of you probably, I'm going to just go into this, or should we wait to see? Our tech support just put in our email address. So Amy, go ahead and email support@waydownlifestyle.com and ask your question, and we will respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, we will. And look at all those thumbs up. We love those thumbs up, because, we just want to tell you right now, like Casey just said, we feel really good about the service that we provide, and the offer that we made for $9.97 US. And we go intense for 8 weeks with this program.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of high-end coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've had coaching before, but we have had a lot of coaching in our life. And we know that we provide a lot of value for $9.97. In fact, we know that we could charge 3 times that amount, but we are keeping it to the lowest we can for the amount that we invest and for the amount of staff that we have. And just because we are a Christian business, we have to cover our expenses. And we put this workshop on for free because we really, truly want to give you the best value we can. We have shared from our hearts. We have shared so much information that normally we don't share.
That's right.
Because a lot of it, we go in depth into our coaching and our online program, but we're just going to be real with you and tell you that it costs between $7,000 and $10,000 to put on a free workshop for you.
It's free for you. It's not free for us.
That's right. And we're very happy to have done that. And we know that not all of you can jump into our offer. We understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But we still truly are so thankful that you're here with us. And we're so thankful that you have given us the thumbs up, that you have learned and had value from our workshop, because that is our mission, to help thousands of women. And we have helped thousands of women, but our goal is to continue to help thousands of women to learn to love themselves again and see themselves the way God sees them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we feel really good about our $9.97 offer. And we're not going to, tell you that, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but we know that we're providing the value that is necessary to get out of that $9.97. You are going to have that turnaround point. It's going to be something that you look back on and say, that transformed my life.
Yeah. And that's worth it.
Yeah. It's worth investing in yourself.
It is.
If you have that nudging in your heart to join us, it is worth it.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? We don't want to be high pressure sales, greasy sales ladies. That's not what we are into at all. We want to work with the women who feel and pray about the decision and feel like this is what God is calling them to do. And Amy, no, thank you so much for your comment. And we're not addressing, your question was, we love your question.
Yeah.
And we just know that there have been some other comments that have been negative about the price point. And so, we want to address that in the most respectful way that we possibly can. So
Amy, don't think that at all. We're glad that you asked your question.
Yes. And so, but back to the point is that it is our heart's desire and our mission to help as many women as we can. And you know what? We have, there's other things that we have offered in the past. There will be other things that we will offer again. We want to have a different level of service and access for different income levels, right? And we do have that.
Yes, we do.
And so right now we are here to offer the $9.97 package that includes a high level of access to Ruth and I, and we invest a lot of time and energy and love into that. And so, I don't know if that has helped explain to all of you that are here watching a little bit more about why that price point, because I think some women have been frustrated with us that that's the price point. And so I'm just scrolling through to see the comments, because there was one here from Lori about why is it US funds when you live in Canada? And that's a great question too, Lori. So
yeah, it is a great question. That's because we use a US platform to host all our things. Everything that we use for our business is in US dollars. And so that's our business. And we have to follow along like that so that we can sustain our business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the platform is a US based platform. Yeah. So that's the reason.
And we have to have a lot of platforms, just so you know, when you're an online business, you have to have a lot of platforms, which is hard to understand, but it's like 5 platforms that we have to have going in order to sustain this business.
We're nothing without our tech team. We'll just tell it to you like that.
Yeah.
And Linda, thank you so much for this comment. We're super excited to work with you too.
Yes, we really are. Woo!
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And Chris, how long will the videos be available on the Concierge page? I think
for about a week.
About a week, yeah.
Actually, the shopping cart for this offer closes on the 13th. And so I think it closes after that, doesn't it?
I think so,
yeah. So it's available until the 13th. So our offer is available until the 13th. So the sooner you get in, what's going to happen is you're going to get an email and you're going to get access to an online 10-day way down course immediately, where you're going to have videos from us, and then it's going to go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get into another private Facebook group where we're going to be with you for 8 weeks intensely.
Yeah. Intense in a good way.
Yeah. I'll be dancing for you.
Yeah, exactly. And Amy, yes, again, thank you so much for your question. And we knew that that's not the spirit that you meant it in. We've just been, to be honest, a little bit stressed about addressing some of the negative comments.
And thank you for being so positive.
Yes, thank you so much. And so, and again, we're just here to serve each one of you to the highest level that we can, whether you choose to work with us further or not.
Yeah, because we want to help you.
Yes, and we hope and pray that through this workshop that you can see that in us. And so, yeah. Bing eat at night. Barb, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about bingo for a second. I think I've had the BINGO kids song on repeat one too many times lately.
Thanks, Amy.
And thank you, Linda. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Linda. Yeah, we're really looking forward to working with you.
Okay. And
I really benefited and I appreciate it very much, even though I can't handle the $9.97. I know you're offering a lot in that package. Thank you for that.
Yes.
I don't know who you are, but thank you. That means a lot to us.
It really does.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you would, whoever you are, email support@waydownlifestyle.com and let us know that.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll return your email.
Yes. And thank you to all of you who have sent us emails of thanks and of,
yes,
like that really does fill our tank. We got to tell you that. Sometimes even before we get on a live, we always do our jumping jacks, but sometimes we go back to emails or comments or posts from women where they have told us, how much our workshop has helped or all those things. And that really, really helps to inspire us and to help us keep going.
It does, because we're just like you. We need our tanks filled. And we use the car analogy a lot. Remember what vehicle you were?
Yeah.
I was a Porsche.
I think I was a minivan. That's so terrible.
And sometimes my Porsche, the picture does a flip side and it's not a Porsche anymore. So we have to have our tanks filled up and then it's a Porsche again,
mm-hmm.
right? So it's really like that. And you're no different and we're no different than you. And so we have to have that high octane fuel in nourishing our body with food and in renewing our mind. We have to nourish our mind with the high octane fuel too.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. And Amy says, is US and Canadian different amounts? It's the same amount, but with the exchange rate, it makes the Canadian version a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, it's like 1,200
Canadian, I think.
Yeah, a little more.
Right around there. Yeah. Yeah. And Linda, thank you so much. She says, even just the workshop has been worth the price point. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda.
And Sheila, thank you. Comments like that keep us going, because you know what? We talked in our community this morning about being in business is a struggle. And
we felt like quitting many times.
In fact, we felt like quitting today. And we're not going to. That's not on the table. Don't you worry. But the feelings are all there, right? And
that lightning bolt. And then we have to redirect our thoughts immediately. You have to take them captive, like now.
Yeah. And so sometimes part of taking them captive is going back to comments like this from Sheila, where we go, you know what? God has called us to this and we have to keep going. Because like we said to you about weight loss, there's a race we're running and we're running to win. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's so interesting to me sometimes how all of these biblical concepts, they go through they're relevant to every aspect of our life, right?
And we don't know who you are. I wonder if this is I don't know. You got to let us know who you are.
Yeah.
Because I want to guess who it is, but I don't want to say your name because it might not be you.
Yeah. And we just had a Monday. That's all, says Amy. That's right.
Yeah. That's right.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Just another manic Monday. Lots of songs about Monday, right?
Oh, this is so thank you for this.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We love our community. We love the women that we're working with.
I'm desperate, Linda.
Don't worry, we're not quitting.
We're not quitting. No.
When we say that, what we're doing is we're telling you we're real, just like you.
Yeah. And that those thoughts penetrate at us too. And we have to be on guard against them. That's right.
And so we're lucky we have each other. We have that accountability partnership. In fact, we have an accountability team. We have her husband who does our ads. My husband does the videos after I upload them, and he has to, rework some of them. And our son, he is our great big tech guy. And, we couldn't do without any of them.
No, we couldn't.
And so we're just so thankful for our family business that God has put together. Mm-hmm. And we are growing. And we're just going to continue.
Yeah, that's right. And Lisa, so if I save up, will there be another 8 weeks sometime? Yes, we have, just so you all know, we have planned out kind of our year for the Way Down Lifestyle. And our plan at this point is to run another workshop in, I believe, May. Is that right?
May.
Yeah.
But who is this? Who said that? Lisa, you know what, Lisa, email support@waydownlifestyle.com. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we do also, for those of you, if you didn't know this, we do have a 2-pay option available. So, you know, if that helps, we have put that in there because we know that the price point, like it isn't for everybody. And we know that. So, yeah, Lisa, you can email us and let us know.
Oh, thank you, Jolene. Jolene couldn't find us and she's finally here. Jolene, we're glad you made it. And Jolene is awesome because
we showed you the picture of Jolene.
Yeah, and she was the picture. She's down 45 pounds now, Jolene is, and she's just an amazing person who is doing everything we just taught, being very mindful about every decision she puts, every choice she makes, everything she puts into her mouth. And she's down 45 pounds and off so much insulin.
Woo, Jolene!
Thank you for that, Jolene.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So here's the thing. Okay, do you want to read that?
Yeah, ladies, it has been so enjoyable to be part of this workshop. I've truly enjoyed it. Your Christian approach is so awesome. Continue to carry this torch, leading women to weight loss and good health. Let your light shine. Thank you so much. And thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
And again, we don't know exactly who's saying it, but thank you so much. And then Birdie says, you ladies are amazing. You have taught me so much about myself. Take out the trash. Yes.
I love it, Birdie. Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to put the link in the chat again. If you want to go and join us, the sooner the better, because you have more time to actually prepare.
So just a quick recap for you.
Yeah.
What all is included in the $997? We should just tell you that so that you know. So it's 8 weeks with us. And what we are doing in that 8 weeks is we are going to be doing our 10-day Weigh Down challenge with you 4 times. Okay. And so that gives you access to our online course that teaches our whole plan. It also keeps you motivated and inspired because we've done videos for you for every day of the 10 days. There's recipes included. There's tracker sheets. There's a bunch of stuff like that that will help you through it. We are going to be there to do it live with you 4 times to keep you accountable, to keep you engaged. And we are going to be going through we call it our renewed mind coaching.
So you're getting 8 weeks. 2 courses.
Yeah. And so that 8-week coaching period. So you also get access to us in a private Facebook group where we answer all your questions.
We go live on Zoom.
Yeah. And the coaching is all about you learning to have that. It's not learning. It's about you having that big transformation to totally shift your life in terms of your weight loss and a whole bunch of other things. It's about you learning what you value, right?
It's so much. This course is a course where you're going to find out what your core values are. You're going to find out what you're all about. You're going to find out what your true purpose in life is. You're going to find out that you can live a happy, healthy life and live a life of no regrets. We've had women through this course and it has totally changed and transformed their life. And so that's going to do that for you. It is going to be that turning point where you're going to look back and go, wow, I'm so glad I did that.
So we often say, if there's any nudging in you, any inkling where you're like, oh, I want to do that, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. I don't know if I believe in myself enough. We don't want this to be a big time pressure decision. We want you to be able to pray about it, to, do what you need to do. But if there's any part of you that feels like now is the time, then we want you to trust your gut on that, right? We want you to jump in. Like we say, if you're ready to jump in, then jump in, whether you're scared or not.
That's right. Because we have done that before. Sometimes you're just a little bit nervous and you think, the water's too cold. I don't want to jump. But then you jump and you go, oh, it's not as cold as I thought.
Yeah. Or maybe it is right off the bat, but then you swim for 1 lap and then you're warmed right up, right?
That's right. And it's like the overwhelm or the fear or the anxiety just kind of dissipates, It's like, oh, it's not that bad. I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're enjoying it.
That's right.
And you don't ever want to get out of the pool.
That's right.
So
yeah, if you have that little urge or the nudging that, you know, you don't know if this is for you or not, well, pray about it.
mm-hmm.
You know, the shopping cart is open until the 13th. But if you know already that you really want to, well, then trust your gut. Jump into the pool with us.
Yeah.
You know, we know it's going to help you. We know you can lose the weight. We know that it's going to transform your life from the inside out. Exactly. So I think that's really, we've been here longer than we were going to be.
What else is new?
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's no more questions, I think we will sign off.
The link has been posted for you. You can just click the link, and there is a 2-pay option if that works better for you. If you have questions regarding the price, please email support@waydownlifestyle.com. And this is great right here. I've been so blessed these past few days. I never thought about weight loss this way. It has changed me. Thank you both. Thank you so much.
Yes,
we don't know who you are, but thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, I don't know. Are we done with lives? Or are we coming back live again?
I think we'll probably be back again. We always end and then we go, oh, we didn't talk about that.
Linda, thank you. She said she prayed for us both today. Thank the Lord for bringing me this program. Looking forward to. Oh, we're so excited. So you know what? Thank you for praying for us, and thank you, Tammy. I think we are going to come back one more time.
I think so, because I think we have a little bit more material that we have yet to cover.
So give us a thumbs up or put a big yes in the chat if you want us to come back live again tomorrow.
Yeah. And Cindy, the site just got posted again there, if that's what you mean. And
we don't quite know what you were trying to say here, but that's okay.
And Brianne says, keep the lives coming, ladies. We will.
Yes. Awesome.
Oh, so much easier.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I think we're coming back tomorrow.
I guess it looks like it. But maybe we might be a little bit late because we have a call tomorrow at 4 till 5. So we'll be right on 5. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Okay.
We'll figure out the details and we'll be back.
We do have a call in our one of our communities tomorrow, but that is usually an hour earlier. So we just have to be off on time to come back live here.
Yeah.
So if we're 5 minutes late, that's
just like stick around and we'll be here.
Yeah. Stick around and we'll be here. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for your time.
Yeah. And for your love and support for us too, because that means the world to us too.
In fact, it's really done us good to be here with you.
It has. Yes. So thank you.
We love you. And remember, you are a woman chosen for greatness, and we believe in you.
Amen.
Bye for now.